Yeah. Yeah. Or ooh, maybe how to connect a soundboard. Is it just the vocals that aren't coming through, or is it everything? You heard me? All the time, don't be bad. It's working? Oh my gosh. Yay. Okay. And okay, I'm gonna go to the bathroom super quick and then I feel like it's
Lower. Check. 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 A newy newy. Good. Okay. Mochi.
there's there's a rainbow in the sky all the time. Don't be blind. Rainbow, rainbow. Said you're living in my fantasy. Rainbow in the sky all the time. Don't be blind. Don't you be blind. Don't be blind. Don't be blind. Rainbow in the sky all the time. Don't be blind. Don't you be blind. Don't be blind. Don't be blind. Rainbow. Send a sound called sorrow. Rainbow. There are men painless tears. Rainbow. Free to express emotion. Equals fear. Rainbow. Mind is filled with colors. Life is clear. Rainbow in the sky all the time. Don't be blind. Don't you be blind. Rainbow in the sky all the time. Don't be blind. Don't you be blind. Don't be blind. Don't be blind. Rainbow. We found mercy in every sunrise. Rainbow. I am born again. The woman that I am. Rainbow. All I have, left behind. Rainbow. Inside, outside, a light will shine. 'Cause rainbow in the sky all the time. Don't be blind. Don't you be blind. Don't be blind. Don't be blind. Rainbow in the sky all the time. Don't be blind. Don't you be blind. Don't be blind. Don't be blind. Rainbow. Rainbow. Thank you. I missed the finger thing. Oh, does it start now? Okay, I haven't. So this is my fun harmony song. Bum 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 life on a pink cloud, high above the ground, never coming down. Life on a pink cloud, high above the ground, coming down. Bum 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 bum. 'Cause I've been down, underneath the weather, freezing cold, living in southern. Couldn't settle for no half measure if you really wanna get it all together. So now I'm floating on a cloud, holding me up somehow. You know the feeling's profound. You feel it too if you stick around. Stick around, life on a pink cloud, high above the ground, coming down. Life on a pink cloud, high above the ground. I'm feeling groovy, life on a pink cloud, high above the ground. I'm feeling groovy, life on a pink cloud. I'm feeling groovy, high above the ground, coming down. Float away, say whatever. In this world I wanna be forever. Got no worry, I just turn it over. The gift of freedom is kind of absurd, so now I'm floating on a cloud, holding me up somehow. You know the feeling's profound. You feel it too if you stick around. Stick around, like a pink cloud. High above the ground, coming down, like a pink cloud. High above the ground, coming down, like a pink cloud. I'm feeling groovy. I'm feeling groovy. I'm feeling groovy. High above the ground, coming down. Bum, 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 yeah, bum, 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 bum. Thank you. That was fun. Ba 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 da 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 da. Ba 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 da 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 da. Ba 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 da 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 da. Ba ba da 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 da. Ba 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 da 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 da. Ba ba da 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 da. Life has come a long way since yesterday. I say, and it's not the same old thing over again. I say, just do what you feel, don't you fool yourself. I say, 'cause I can't make you happy unless I am. I gotta be true to myself. I gotta be true to myself. Gotta be true to myself. Every day I gotta be true to myself. Day in, day out, I ask many questions. I say, only to find the truth never really changes. I say, hey, if you don't deal with it, keeps killing you a little by little. I say, come selfish if you will, my life I long can live. I say, I gotta be true to myself. Every day I gotta be true to myself. Every day I gotta be true to myself. Gotta be true to myself. Gotta be true. Gotta be true. Gotta be true to myself. Yeah. Gotta be true. Gotta be true. Gotta be true to myself. Yeah. Gotta be true. Gotta be true. Gotta be true to myself. Yeah. Gotta be true. Gotta be true. Gotta be true to myself. Yeah. Me on, please. In a few minutes. There we go. Thank you very much. Technical brilliance here. Thank you for doing that. This is not an easy job to get all three microphones working so that you can hear this incredibly beautiful music. Wow. Amazing. For those of you who don't know, when we do this silly thing that looks like we're being fairies or something, it's sign language for clapping. So a lot of the people in this church prefer to do this to not break the field of the energetic meditative state that someone might be in. So that's what's going on there. So I will start. I'm Vayana, and I've been asked to have the privilege of facilitating this morning with these amazing beings who are sharing with us. I'm so excited to see all of your beautiful faces. Welcome to New Thought. And we usually start with a reading from the Science of Mind, or Guide for Spiritual Living, Science of Mind magazine. So here's what today's reading is. Oh, and I already have a mic. Okay. I am of the opinion that my life belongs to the whole community. And as long as I live, it is my privilege to do for it whatever I can. That's George Bernard Shaw. No greater good can come to you than to know that the power already within you is the power to live, the power to create. Not only to create for yourself, but for others. The power to do good, the power to heal, the power to prosper. That's Ernest Holmes. My chosen family, and I used to play the game on a regular basis, around a table piled high with a ton of food, we would each discuss what skills we would bring to the group's survival in the event of a zombie apocalypse. Some had brilliant tent making skills. Others could make a five-course meal and with berries and wild mushrooms. One could build a fire by rubbing two sticks together, and others, like me, could lend stellar emotional support. Each person brought unique strengths, thus ensuring the survival of the group. Although for the moment, and that actually reminds me of the game we used to play as kids where we would say, if you're on a desert island, who would you take with you? And here we find ourselves on like one of the most remote islands on the planet. And who are we sitting with this morning? It's a fun game. It's kind of become real for some of us. So, although for the moment this is totally hypothetical scenario, I think this actually is what community looks like. A community offers an opportunity for everyone to bring their own zombie apocalyptic skills. I mean strengths and talents to the table for everyone to be authentically seen as an integral part of the survival of the whole. With each of us free to live and express our true selves, which your song was just about, being true to yourself. And I was thinking, which self? My ego self with a little s, or my divine unified self with all of you, the one that is all of us? Which self am I being authentic to? So it is in this unity that both individual transformation and communal evolution truly can be found. So we may not be preparing for a zombie apocalypse, but we are striving for a world where the essence of community is actualized. What will you bring to the party? So now we are going to open with prayer and silent meditation. So this is the only church I've ever been to where shoes are optional. And some of us like to kick them off to feel the earth running through, the energy of the earth running through our feet, unless you have those wonderful shoes that allow for that, which are now available on Amazon if you don't have a pair. You can ground yourself, ground. So make yourself really comfortable and feel like you're going to allow the flow of the earth's energy to flow up through your feet, whatever that looks like for you. And we'll just drop into some silence, and I'll guide us just slightly to where it is that you want to go right now to find the place that is the most authentic for you. So if you would like to close your eyes and drop inward and notice your feet on the ground, whatever that feels like. Notice the strength in your legs as they hold you in this chair. Taking a deep breath, as deep as it can go, as slow as it can go, all breathing together. And noticing how we're sitting a little deeper, noticing the earth, honoring our feet, wanting to flow through us. Another deep breath. And feeling the earth wanting to flow through us, feeling the breeze wanting to play with our hair as it passes our face so gently. Taking another deep breath. Shoulders back, opening the heart, coming to your center. Dropping out of your mind and down, down into your body. Remembering what it feels like in your body. Feeling the earth's energy flowing up through your feet, through your legs, the base of your spine. Filling you with so much love and abundance. And then up and opening the heart, this beautiful green light, expanding into a deeper breath as you feel the air fill your lungs. And relaxing, there's no place to go, nothing to do. We can leave all those old thoughts from this morning out the door. We're letting them go. Dropping into nothing, knowing you are enough, just sitting here. Now from above, we're going to bring down the light of the sun from above through our crown, the top of our head, breathing in with a deep breath, the light from above down into our heart to meet the green light from the earth that came up. Spiraling together in our hearts, the masculine and feminine coming together as one, knowing that we are all of it. Remembering who we really are in the nothingness, in the silence, from the inside out. Coming back to feeling our feet on the ground, gently, gently opening our eyes, noticing the earth and the air, noticing the sun and the waves, the palm trees waving. And this beautiful community surrounding us with love. We're in the perfect place, perfect time, perfect universe, in our perfection. Remembering who we are, and now just gently noticing who's around you in this room, bringing you back, making eye contact if you feel like it, or just noticing the beautiful beings of light that surround us. And letting in that this community surrounds you. You are not alone. You never were. All right. Welcome to New Thought. And now, with our incredibly beautiful musician, I'd love to hear a song, if you wouldn't mind blessing us with another song. It's such a gift to hear your beautiful voice and talent. For those of you who haven't met her, this is Tiare Lum. No, Colleen. I messed up. That's next week. I'm looking at the wrong one. Colleen, tell us your last name as well. Yost. Colleen Yost is blessing us with her beautiful music today. Thank you.
Yeah, I really like coming here and learning new things. I'm excited to hear our skills. But yeah, I'll put it.
we can be whatever we wanna be. You are a shining star. Don't forget who that you are. This world can be so mean. You gotta have faith and hope and dream. You are a shining star. Don't forget who that you are. This world can be so mean. You gotta have faith and hope. No fear, my dear, for you are everything. Stardust makes up your entirety. It's my shining like gold everywhere that you go. 'Cause there's pieces of the sand inside your soul. You are a shining star. Don't forget who that you are. This world can be so mean. You gotta have faith and hope and dream. You are a shining star. Don't forget who that you are. This world can be so mean. You gotta have faith and hope. Hey.
Woo, thank you. Beautiful. Fabulous. Thank you. So let me tell you a little bit about who we are. We are a multi-faith spiritual community in Hawaii. If you haven't been here before, just to give you a background, we are a sanctuary of aloha. We're here for the nourishment, development, and evolution of everyone's spiritual journey on their unique path. So we don't have the answers, you do. And we have been since 1971 offering Sunday morning services with various wonderful speakers from all over the world. And we're blessed by their wisdom from all walks of life. That's the multi-faith part. And we've been offering services for, 50-something years, apparently. And we're affiliated with the International New Thought Alliance, which is also affiliated with Unity churches, religious science churches, and centers for spiritual living. So it gives you a feel for our background. So welcome today. And we are going to start, like we often do, just by going around with this microphone so that everybody can hear you, not just here in the room, but also there are wonderful people coming in from all over the world on this wonderful technology that makes us available online to everyone. And it's also recorded in case you want to share this or listen again to the music at another time. So we're going to go around and we're going to say our names, and then we're going to answer a simple question that is presented by our wonderful presenter today, Jennifer Lighty. And she's going to ask the question, and then she's going to demonstrate how we will answer it as we go around the room, say our names so we know who everybody is. And by the way, is there anybody who's new here who's never been? This is your first time? Okay, we've got one over there. Thank you. Oh, two. Okay. We won't put you on the spot. Everybody's going to go around, just say their name and answer the question. So go ahead and make your question known. Welcome, everyone. I'm Jen. And the question I'd like to hear from you all today is, where did one of your ancestors come from? So, do you want to demonstrate how that would sound? My name is Jen, and my ancestor came from England. All right. I'm Viana, sometimes known as Heather. My ancestors came from Norway. I don't know. Pomakai? Hold it like an ice cream cone. Maybe hold it like this. Like an ice cream cone? It's because of the speaker. I'm in front of the speaker. I don't know if it's on, Pomakai. Do you? Does it say number 2? Yes. It's on. It's on. Or we can pass it.
We're going to pass this one. Okay. Okay, we're passing this version. That works.
Yeah.
Good morning. My name is Leah. The other one?
Testing, testing.
Ice cream moment. Okay, good. My name is Leah. Good morning and aloha. My ancestors on this planet are from Sweden and Denmark, but my ancestors elsewhere are from the Pleiades. Hello, my name is Colleen. My ancestors are from Ireland, Germany, and Spain.
Aloha, my name is Krista, and my ancestors are from Sicily and Ukraine.
I'm Palmer, and my ancestors are from Scotland and Ireland.
Aloha, I am Vivek. My ancestors are from India.
Good morning. My name is Reagan, Scotland and France.
I'm Jan. There are a lot of Northern European, Poland even. So Germany, England mostly, Scotland, Netherlands.
Hello, I'm Amanda. I think Sweden and Ireland.
I'm Shelva, and they're from England, Scotland, Ireland, and Germany.
I'm Margie, and some of my ancestors are from the Welsh Isles, which means I'm so pale, and they were kind of ignorant, did that. But as I'm getting older, I'm getting more melanin. Maybe one of these days I'll be a lady of color.
Hello, I'm Elisha Leolani. My bio ancestors come from Austria, Czechoslovakia, Central Europe. And my real ancestors come from Sirius and the stars.
I am Peace Eagle for a year until Pasha's birthday. Peace Eagle. There's a purpose in my saying that. Peace Eagle for a year until her birthday. And I am descended from Rob Roy McGregor. And my other half is a Davidson. They were more peaceful.
McGregor sounds like Scotland. Am I right? McGregor.
Loch Lomond, southern Scotland, right next to Britain. Oh,
McGregor.
no, that's a problem.
Excellent. Scotland it is.
Good morning, I'm Pasha. And although my Pasha name is Russian, I'm not really Russian in terms of genealogy, just in terms of interest and appreciation for the culture. My ancestry is a lot British and a little bit French and Scottish, something my mother called Scotch-Irish that I never quite understood. But anyway, yeah, that's what I know about. I'm still open to learning new things.
Great.
Is it going
this way? That way. Do you like to share? Thank you.
Hi, everyone. I'm Seraphima. Some of my ancestors are from Russia.
Awesome.
Hi, my name's Lorraine. My ancestors are from Ireland, England, and the Netherlands.
Hi, I'm Karen, and some of my ancestors are from Ireland.
Hi, I'm Jeanette. My ancestors are from Switzerland, the ones in a body, and the other ones are from the Pleiades, Sirius, Atlantean, Pleiadians, Lemurians, and Lyrans.
Aloha, my name is Lexi. I have ancestors from Germany, England, Ireland, Dutch, and Russian.
Hello, I'm Jennifer, and my ancestry on this planet, French, German, Swedish, English, and in my family is the sun.
Hi, I'm Jamie. Scotland, Ireland, France, Algonquin, and Cherokee. And cosmic, I would say Lemuria.
I'm Pomekai, and wow. I would say I am from everywhere, and I am from nowhere. And I have relatives all over the world and all not over the world, wherever they may be. I'm grateful to be here now.
My name's Jean, and most of my relatives are from Holland and England, Ireland, and a little bit of Chakamucka, and that's Indian, and from way out there.
My name is Sally, and one of my relatives is from where we now call the Netherlands.
Good morning, aloha. I'm Russell, the UK and Sweden.
Gerling, I'm from the Netherlands.
Hi, I'm Faith, and who knows?
Hi, I'm Barca, all over Britain, and then the only thing interesting from 23andMe was 0.4% Southwest Africa, which is 1740s. But Southwest Africa, they all went to more Brazil, which doesn't explain North America, except for the whaling trade, got whalers from all over the coastline. So maybe.
I'm Patty, and I'm from Germany, Ireland, and England.
Excellent. And Chaz in the back? Chaz is here, and her ancestors are from. Dun, 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 dun.
Hi, everybody. I'm Chaz. I feel like my family is here, but my ancestors are from England.
Thank you. Excellent. So before we have another song, unless I skipped anybody, let me know. Oh, I skipped one. Colleen.
I'm Colleen.
The microphone.
Testing, yeah. I'm Colleen, and my great grandmother's Irish, and I've not done my 23andMe yet, but stay tuned.
While Colleen plays another beautiful song for us, think about what you might want to share if you do. The next part of our presentation that we do every week will be sharing something called Miracles and Ordinaries. And these would be the ordinary things that you want to share with the community that might also feel like miracles. So if there's something precious in your life that you'd like to share about, that'll be the next phase. Just listen for what you might want to share while we listen to this incredible music. Thank you, Colleen.
Right, so this song is about manta rays. Spread your wings like the angel you are. Flying out to sea, dancing me to be like a manta ray. So profound how you light up the sky. shoes to leave, and not a backbone in your body. No, nothing else could ever compete. Spread your wings like the angel you are. Guardian of the sea, doesn't mean to be like a manta ray. So profound how you light up the dark. Guardian of the sea, elegant as can be, like a manta ray.
Beautiful. Thank you. That reminds me of a miracle of this island. For those of you who are going to be sharing miracles, feel free to come up here in a moment. If you haven't swum with the manta rays here on this island, it's incredible. Talk about a miracle. And if you haven't gone out in a Hawaiian canoe right from Keauhou, they do that a couple times a night. It's worth it. It's like if you've never done it, you don't have to get out of the canoe if you don't want to, but you can just see them right there. So that's the miracle on this island at this moment. Thank you for reminding me. And if anybody else would like to come up, feel free to share your miracle or ordinary. Don't be shy. I'm sure we're full of miracles and ordinaries. Amanda, are you coming up? You're always full of miracles. Amanda's relatively new to the island. Some of you may not have met her yet. She's lovely. Thank you.
Hello, I'm Amanda, and I just want to speak to the power of the miracles of the prayer group here. I've put in 2 requests. One was to find a home here, and one most recently was to find a car, and both magically appeared and have been, my car especially, I'm just like absolutely in love. Like I didn't know you could love a car, and now I know. So just want to speak to the power of that, and thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, those who are behind the scenes doing the prayers every week. And if anybody wants to put a prayer in the basket, there is a wonderful honu or turtle box right over here that you can put your prayers into. And once a week, the prayer group gets together and actually prays for those items. And if you want to be part of the prayer group, let who know? Pomakai? Oh, yes. Every day for 1 week you pray. Thank you. Okay, so they pray every day for 1 week, this group of powerful prayers, and that's a word. And if you would like them to do it again the next week, if it hasn't been answered the way you were hoping, feel free to put it in again the next week. Yes. Oh, there's an email. Thank you. Beautiful. So Pasha. Okay, so via email, you can make a request to put a prayer in the prayer basket so that it can be honored immediately that week. You don't have to wait till Sunday to make your request in the prayer basket. And apparently it's very powerful. And I'm sure you're not the first one to get the prayer answered. Thank you. Any other miracles or ordinaries that people want to share with each other to inspire one another, a community?
Good morning. I'm Leah. Aloha, everyone. It's so lovely to be community and have community. We all are here for each other, and it's such a miracle that we have each other. And here we are sitting in the middle of the Pacific Ocean on this big lava rock. I know I only arrived a year ago, May 30th, and I came with a one-way ticket and a place to land in terms of a house sitting opportunity, and that was all I knew. So a lot of trust, a lot of faith, and for my personal experience, the experience of faith and trust and knowing somehow that everything will be delivered, answered, given as needed is such a miracle. And I've had miracle after miracle happen here on this island in the last year. The other miracle I want to speak of is reproduction. I know that might sound a little weird, but if you look at life, it doesn't happen without it. The animals, the plants, the trees, everything we're reproducing every day. And then my place that I had a miracle happen and have just moved and have a new place, there are 5 beautiful kittens. So just wanted to put it out there. They're ready for homes. Two black ones, three little tabbies.
Oh.
Anybody wants a cute kitty? The miracle happened and they need to go somewhere. Thank you.
Thank you. Kitties are always miracles. And we have time for one more. Pomokai. He's our wonderful sound and technology expert today.
Yeah. That's it. That's my sharing. I have a thing I do, and some of you have heard this before, some of you haven't. When I want like a parking place, which happens a couple of times a week in a really difficult place to get a parking place, before I get there, I always think about it and I go, okay, thank you, Rockstar Parking. And when I turn the corner and I go down, there's my amazing. I mean, it's not just any place, it's right in front of where I need to be, right? Like 100 cars right there, and you can't get in sideways, but there's one spot for me. So that's kind of a miracle. But what I also notice is that sometimes when I have that intention about rockstar, whatever, to create something, and I really think that it's something I really, really want or need, and it doesn't show up, what I am learning about me is that I have incredible patience and acceptance that I didn't have a year ago, but I have it now. And it's come about because of that, because of asking and claiming something and then it not showing up. And then the miracle is in that the perfect thing happens later on. Like my dear friend Lorraine, I love you so much. I'm so glad to see you. And we all got together last week and wanted to do a wonderful flower arrangement for her and Jim when they got home from sharing her mother's departure from here. And but she's here. She came. She's come a couple times to me. Actually, I love her so much. And so we wanted to do a flower arrangement. And Jean said, "Oh, I know this wonderful place to go." And I went, "Okay, I'll go there." And I went there, and they weren't open. They aren't open on Mondays. They keep hairdresser days, closed Sunday, Monday kind of thing. And so I went, "Oh, okay, well, I'll go Tuesday." And something happened on Tuesday, and I got all kerfluffled and turned around. And then I call the girl and I say, "I need flowers." And she's going, "Well, it's too late today, and tomorrow's the 4th of July." And so I'm going, "What is going on here? I want those flowers now. I need them Wednesday." And she's saying, "Sorry, and Thursday will be it." So I go on Thursday. I get the flowers. I think it was Thursday, wasn't it? And then and then I go to their home and knock, knock, and nobody's home. So I'm like, "Oh," and I was disappointed. So I left them on the porch, and I texted her to let her know that there was something on her porch. It turns out that her sweetheart has a slight illness, and had I seen him, then I would have been exposed to that. And it was like, okay, God was taking care of me. Even though what I really wanted to do was to put the flowers in her arms and give her a big hug. I didn't get to do that. But she brought the flowers today. I saw them right there.
Oh, gorgeous.
They're beautiful.
Wow.
So, love made visible. So miracles happen even though they don't always happen the way we really want them.
Thank you. Beautiful. Thank you, everyone who shared. Feel free after today to share. If you didn't get to share it with somebody before you leave today. It creates emotional intimacy. We get to fall in love with each other more when we share what's real in our lives. We want to hear what's real. Okay, so now I get the privilege of introducing our speaker today, Jen Lighty. And we had met in a warm pool of water in my backyard because she is an incredible body worker. And if you haven't had a massage from Jen, she offers them right next door at Island, what is it called? Island Spirit. So she is an incredible body worker. And she has a background that's really interesting. Brought all of you here today, I'm sure. She says she was born under a waning Libra moon, so that won't be meaningful to some of you, instilling her with a desire to share knowledge and create harmony wherever she goes. So, of course, when she landed here in 1994, she lived in the Waipio Valley. Parts of her story are revealed in her new memoir, which is for sale on the table, Pico. And that's a book that she put together called Pico, A Return of the Dreaming, self-published by Whale Road Press, which she began in 2021. She was living in Honau now, close to the Pu'u Honua, which is the place of refuge, the setting for her 21-day ceremony recounted in the book. Sounds very magical. I will be getting a copy for sure. Her life has been a journey of trial and error that has moved her to many places and professions, ranging from Block Island, an oyster farmer in Rhode Island, aquatic body worker, not just around here, but also in Mexico. Her current incarnation, of course, is next door doing body work here in Kona. So take it away, please.
Thank you, Vaiana. Thank you, Colleen. And thank you, everyone, for being here. I am so full of rainbows right now, right? Wow. And I also, along with this elation of the rainbows, I'm also feeling like a lot of chills from hearing everybody's ancestors come into this space. Did you feel that when we were doing that? So the reason I asked you to name one of your ancestors is because those ancestors carry our indigenous wisdom. So for a lot of us, from what I heard, most of us are in this room are from Europe, except for India. So, and for people from European backgrounds, we immigrated, you know, sometimes recently, sometimes a couple of 100 years ago. My ancestors came over 400 years ago to the American continent, to Turtle Island, before it was America. And the reason most of those people left was because they had lost their connection to what we call the indigenous soul. It might have been like a political reason or, you know, persecution for religious beliefs. But if you really look at that, if you really feel like what it was like for those people to leave, they were from cultures that had lost their connection to the land. Whew, just saying that, I get, whoa. And now all of us have come here. Most of us. There might be some people here that were born here. I don't know. So the work that I do with myth is a way, and I also want to acknowledge the ancestors that came into this room here from the Pleiades and the Syrians and the Mu and the Mantas. We've got, you know, all of those wisdom traditions in this space right here. So the work that I do with myth and sharing story is a way to bring us all through listening to these stories and understanding that everyone mentioned or every place entered in this story is something that lives within all of us, and that these are links to the indigenous mind. Does that make sense? Okay. So I want to I'm just going to ask a question too. Like, when I say like we're going to the myth realm, where do you think the myth realm is? In the story? Mm-hmm. Anybody else? Belief systems. Yeah, that's one of the ones we hear a lot, because one of the ways we think about myth is that it's a belief system that shapes a culture, but we also flip that into something that isn't real. You know, that's just a myth. So it's really like got a lot of layers to it, right? So these stories, the myth realm, and I actually, you know, if you read my book Pico, you'll see this like demonstrate what I'm talking Oh, but we're going to do that right here. The myth realm is right here. And we're going to go there today. We're going to go there with the story I'm going to tell. And one of those ways that we do that is like calling in these other beings in the non-physical realm. Because in the myth realm, everything is speaking to us and everything is connected. You know, these trees over here are speaking to us. The wind blowing the fronds of that palm are speaking to us. The song that Colleen is speaking to us. You know, every creature that was called in has a message. There's a dog over here. We have like the medicine of a dog here. That like unconditional love and loyalty is here in the room with us. And I want to remind everybody that when we go into the myth realm, when you hear a story, every single person in the story and every event that happens in every place also lives within inside you. So any reaction you have to that story is a message from the myth, and we might even say from the Amakua, you know, for the Hawaiian higher consciousness. It's a message from the invisible realms that's here to serve your expansion and the expansion of consciousness here on Earth. And one thing I'm going to ask before I start to tell this story is that everybody, let's just like center ourselves a little bit. I mean, I'm feeling pretty centered from the song and everybody just like come in unity by placing one hand on their heart, on the pu'uvai, the right hand, and the left hand on the na'au. So when we do this, we honor the uhane and the unihipili, the masculine and the feminine. And take some breaths and fill those spaces with breath. And allow yourself to be a channel for anybody that also needs to hear this story today. Those can be people living, they can be your ancestors, or they can be people that passed on. We actually have we've heard of somebody that recently passed, was called in here today. I'm just letting all of the energy in the air flying around, all those people looking over our shoulders, settle into the space with us as we ground down through our feet into the aina. And what I'm going to ask you to do, and don't think about it too much, but at the end of the story, I'm going to invite everybody to name out loud where you find yourself in the story. And by that, I mean, what part of the story grabs you? And try not to think about it too much. We're going to stick with the image. So that could be the moment in the forest or, you know, in the castle. So it's just something like that. And when we do that, we feed that story. We feed everybody in the room. We feed this community. And this is a path, a potential doorway to your own healing that can open through going into the myth realm. Does that make sense? Okay. So, are you ready for a story? Yes, yes. This is a story called The Lindworm. It's a story from Europe. There are versions of it all over Europe. Some are from Norway, some are from Scotland. I know we've got many Scottish people in the room here with us and the Scotch Irish. And it begins like so many stories do in a kingdom. And this is a good kingdom. The people are happy, and it's ruled by a benevolent king and a beautiful queen. But there's one thing in this kingdom that's missing, one deep sadness, and it's that the queen can't conceive a child. Because of that, especially in the queen's heart, there's a sadness in the kingdom, a level of melancholy that everybody carries. And the sadder that the queen felt, she found herself wandering further and further from the castle until one day she was walking in the forest, and out from behind a tree stepped an old woman. And the woman said to the queen, "Why are you so sad? What ails you?" And the queen said, "I cannot bear a child." The old woman said to her, "I see that you've never expressed your desires and longing. If you can do that, you'll be able to bear the child that you wish for. So tonight, go into the northwest corner of the castle and speak your desires into a little cup and then flip it on the ground. In the morning, I want you to come back and turn that cup over, and you'll see two things growing out of the ground, a red flower and a white flower. Whatever you do, don't touch the white." And this old woman told the queen, "I actually want you to eat the flower. Don't go near the white flower. Eat the red flower." The old woman went back behind the tree, and the queen went back to the castle. And at sunset, she walked out into the garden, and carrying the little cup, she spoke her desires into it. And when she'd spoken them all, she flipped it on the ground, and she went back into the castle. Next morning, the sun rises. She walks back to the cup. She flips it over, and sure enough, there's the red flower and the white flower that the old woman told her about. And what do you think happened next? Her hand is reaching for the white flower. She's going to do it. She's going to pick the white flower like the old woman told her. And then what happens? Her hand, we've all been there, right? Her hand reaches over without thinking. She grabs the red flower and she shoves it in her mouth and then eats the red flower. And immediately she knows that she's pregnant. So 9 months pass, and it comes time for the queen to give birth. And all the women of the castle gather in the birthing chamber. All the witches and the midwife, and they're there. And as the queen is laboring, the midwife is standing there ready to catch the baby when out from between the queen's legs slithers a small black snake. The midwife whipped it out the window, threw it into the forest. Nobody saw. Nobody knows. The midwife's looking around. Nobody saw. The queen, with one more push, pushes out a beautiful, perfect boy, the heir the kingdom has wanted for all these years. Years pass and the boy grows up, and it comes to the point, where he's around 17 years old and he's feeling like, oh, I'm ready for a wife. So he goes to his parents and says, I'm going to go out into the kingdom and find a wife. And he does that. He sets off on his horse, trot, that's my trot noise. And he comes to the first crossroads. And when he gets to this crossroads, a giant black serpent rises up. What in Europe they used to call a worm. It's really a dragon without wings. Think of it that way. And the worm rises up above the prince on the horse, and the worm just yells, "Older brothers marry first." The prince is, okay, and he knows better than to fight this thing. Trots away on the horse in another direction, comes to the next crossroads. Who's there? "Older brothers marry first." That goes on all day. All day. The prince, undeterred, he's like, oh, the wife, she's out there. Gets to the crossroads, and that serpent is there. So finally, he says, I'm heading back to the castle. I'm going to go see what mom and dad have to say about this. So he says to his parents, is there anything about my birth you didn't tell me about, And they said, no, but the midwife that delivered you is still around. Let's go check with her. So they go find the midwife in her turret, and they ask her, hey, did anything happen at our son's birth that you didn't tell us about? And she says, no. Well, yes, no. Yes. Well, actually, there was this little snake that came out before him that I threw out the window into the forest. Oh, says the king. Oh dear, says the queen. Well, the king says, this snake that you threw out the window has grown up into a giant worm. And it's saying older brothers have to marry first. Until that happens, our son can't marry. And then the king does something really surprising. He looks at his wife and says, we need to build a room in the castle for this serpent. We need to welcome him. So he sends out all the troubadours out into the forest, and they're playing their lutes. One of them's named Colleen. She's singing about rainbows and mantas. And they find the worm, and he's not, oh, thank you. He's like, "Ugh." But he rolls back in. He slithers back into the castle behind the troubadours, and he takes up his space in the room they provided for him. And then the king and queen send out word all over the kingdom. We've got a son that needs a wife. And everybody, all the girls, they're like, I get to marry a prince. Where's my glass slippers? They're putting on their ball gowns, and they're one by one making their way to the castle. And 12 times this happens. 12 women come to the castle, because I think you're not going to be surprised about what happens. But one by one, these 12 young girls agree to marry the prince, the first prince, the older brother. And one by one, after the ceremony, they go into the wedding chamber. And the next morning, when the courtiers come to see what's happened, all they see are the bones of each of these 12 young girls. Their husband, the older brother, had devoured them. So eventually the castle gets a reputation. The place you go in that nobody comes out. But there's still one girl in the kingdom that says, marry the older brother. She's not a noble girl. She's the daughter of a shepherd. So she grew up close to the land and in the forest. And she tells the king and queen, I'll marry your son, but I need a year and a day to plan. And they say, okay, because they don't have any other options at this point. They're willing to wait the year and the day. What the girl didn't tell anybody is she didn't have a plan. She just asked for that time because she needed to make one. She had no idea what she was going to do. This was really a leap of faith. Leap of faith. So she's wandering in the forest, kind of like, oh no, what did I say I'm going to do? I'm going to be a bag of bones in a year and a day. When out from behind a tree steps an old woman, maybe someone we've seen before. And the old woman says, what's troubling you? And the girl says, well, I agreed to marry this prince that eats everybody that marries him, and they end up a pile of bones. And the old woman says, well, I have some advice for you. What you need to do in this year and a day, is prepare 12 wedding shirts. Those are night dresses. And you need to embroider the most exquisite designs and patterns on those dresses right over your heart. And on your wedding night, you need to put them all on, all 12. And then you need to ask the king and queen for 2 baths. The first is a bath of lye. And if you don't know, lye is made from ashes, which gives us a clue here that this is the bath of something that's been burned. It's a bath of grief. And then in the other bath, you're going to have them fill it with milk. And you also need to ask for 2 wire brushes. So the girl asked the king and queen for this, and they agreed, yes, we can do all this. And the year and the day passes, and it comes for the time for the girl to be married to the serpent, to the older brother. She walks into the ceremony. There's a snake. She doesn't flinch. She looks at him and said, oh, that's my husband. And when he wraps his tail, coils it right around her after the ceremony and drags her into the bedchamber, she still doesn't flinch. She meets him right in the eye. Take off your dress, the serpent says to her. She looks at him and says, I'll take off one of my dresses if you take off one layer of your scales. And he looks at her and he says, nobody's ever asked me that before. Nobody's ever asked him that before. She takes off one of her dresses with a beautiful embroidery above her heart. And he takes off one of his layers of scales, and it hurts. It's so painful. Oh, you can hear him screeching all throughout the castle. And that happens 11 more times. 12 times she takes off a dress and he takes off a layer of scales until they're both naked. And what she sees when all of his scales off is absolutely horrifying. His skin is just raw pulp, just painful to look at. And without saying a word, she walks over to the bath of lye. She picks up those 2 metal scrub brushes, dips them in the bath of ashes, and starts to scrub him. Ah! You can hear him shriek and scream. It seems like it goes on for hours, for days, all night, for a lifetime. He's screaming, and she's scrubbing. Everybody in the castle is cringing at the pain until finally, close to dawn, his skin, that red goop has been removed, and she beholds the skin and the face of a young man who had been sent into exile 17 years ago when the midwife flew the serpent out the window. And at this point, he's in so much pain, he can't stand up. So she actually lifts him up. She lifts him and she carries him and she puts him in the bath of milk. And for the rest of the night, and as the sun comes up, she puts her hands in that milk and she soothes him with it. She bathes him with the milk. And he has the face of an ordinary man, a man she can love. When the cock crows, the courtiers come to the doors of the wedding chamber. One more time. And they open that door. They really don't want to go in. They don't want to see this latest brave young woman reduced to a pile of bones. They don't want to hear the serpent screeching older brothers marry first. But they're surprised when they open that door because you know what they see? They see a young man and young woman sitting up in bed in what the Irish call radiant contentment. And they're just chatting, they're sharing their lives, they're catching up on everything that's brought them to this moment where they're finally married. And they say that the woman with an educated heart and the man who learned to shed his skin lived happily ever after. And they also say that kingdom where this woman with the woman with the educated heart lives in all of us. And the man who learned to shed his skin does too. So let's let that story land completely in the room through our words. Do we need the mic or can people just say out loud where they are in the story? It might be a pass the mic. So if you're ready, we need to raise your hand. We're going to pass the mic so the people online can hear. And don't be shy. You know, this is a way to feed the community, to feed the ancestors.
Okay, we're going for it. There's so
Yes.
much stuff that story brought up and like so many different interpretations, but I guess I can relate to the man because I like when we get hurt, we don't want to get hurt again. So we like put up our armor and we like protect ourselves and stuff like that. But then I also relate to the woman where it's like you want to help people sometimes and then end up getting hurt. So yeah, it's like a balance. But yeah, I feel like everybody has love and like is a inner child inside, and like yeah, coming together as a community and healing and growing is awesome. Okay. Thanks.
So maybe we could just pass it, and if you don't want to say anything, just pass it.
Okay.
And it's fine to let the story just, if you want to pass, it's fine. You don't feel like pressure to expose anything. Sometimes you want to hold these things close for a bit longer. You can always get hold of me later if you want to share something also.
From melancholy to radiance.
This just popped in my head. No pain, no gain. You can have a heart full of love and still suffer a great deal.
And remember, you don't have to analyze. If it's just an image, don't feel like you have to like explain why you're attracted to something in the story. It could just be like the oak tree. Just you can just say the image too, if that's easier.
I really like the courageousness of facing the pain and the dress imagery of boundaries.
The boundaries of the dress. Yeah.
The red and white flower.
It's a big choice, right?
The way out of apparently the way when there seems to be no way out, where the queen couldn't bear a child, and that was hanging over the whole land in sadness because everyone accepted that. And I love the non-acceptance of that state and the transformation. Took a while, took the old woman in the wood, took 9 months, but eventually the queen's wish did come true. And the story carried on after that.
I am the serpent. I am the serpent. And I married the princess. And that's our story. I've come a long way, baby. Let that sink in. She's raised me up. Believe me. Believe me.
Thank you. I was kind of struck by how the king and the queen and the other son, how they accepted the new reality and actually made a place for this surprising new relative in the castle, which allowed everything else to unfold as it needed to.
I mainly feel full of wonder over the whole thing. There was such beautiful symbology and representation of so many aspects of being human and all the challenges that we face in a lifetime. It's a beautiful story, and let it sink in a little more. But right now in my life, I'm in the milk bath.
That was really cool listening to you tell a story. I would do that every day, listen to you or anyone tell a story. It was so beautiful. The part that that I felt was the sadder she got, the further she wandered. Because I wander when I'm sad. But the good news is the wandering is how she found her answer. So anyway, thank you so much, Jen.
What spoke to me
was the idea that when we strip away the layers and the overlays, that's when our true beauty is revealed.
I related to the couple sitting on the bed and catching up on everything that's transpired.
I am firstly inspired by the narrator, and secondly, the idea that where there is a will, there is a way.
I liked Colleen, the troubadour, singing about mantas going in the forest.
I can relate to a whole bunch of parts of this story. The first one is the woman not being able to get pregnant, which is my past lives. And then the snake coming out first, which represents giving birth to something that unexpected. I can relate to that. Not something, but someone. Unexpected. And the wise woman coming from behind a tree, I can relate to that too, that as part of me, being hidden until someone shows up that really needs help. I can relate to the young woman having faith that this is what she is supposed to do, even though she has no clue how and what's going to happen when and how. And the calmness of her being in that place, even though facing such a huge, which could be the end of her life. So I can relate to all of those. And also the peeling off the layers of her partner and the pain.
Yeah, I really liked the idea of the educated heart and then the layers being removed to reveal the true self. So, yeah, that was really cool.
I love the idea of being in the forest and not knowing, and the sense of mystery, and just being willing to see on a different level and in a different way.
I love the girl looking the serpent in the eyes.
And I related to the 13th girl, learning the wisdom of how to be in the world with a bigger picture, an educated heart, and how to heal. Oops, am I doing it wrong? How to heal. You want me to put this down? Okay. The woman behind the tree is giving me wisdom about how to speak into a microphone and to have the courage to do what the 13th girl did. That's how I would like to see myself. There was a part of me that just wanted to be this magical water dragon in the moat that wasn't mentioned. And that part of me was just having fun and didn't want to deal with the drama of the people. Because there's so much drama there. It's like, oh, can I just be a water creature in the moat and protect everybody?
You can.
Thank
That
you.
when you, next time, when you tell the story.
Thank you,
Yeah,
thank you.
definitely. Let's add a little water dragon in the moat.
Thank you.
So, does anybody else want to share an image from the story where you found yourself? Oh yeah. Mm. Honestly, that brings like choke up. There's a lot of points in the story where I do, but that's one of the big ones. You know, how many times has someone, not seen you, or not asked the question that you really need to feel seen. It's quite a moment, right? Well, I want to thank everybody for these really incredible shares and for exposing yourself, being open, opening your hearts to this group. And I think you can see we went there, right? So I think you can see that, the way that when you're in the myth world, everything is connected, and we can be in the myth world all the time if we have the eyes to see and the ears to hear. And by that I mean, we can learn to read the world with the power, through the power of connection. And these stories are an entry point into that. So for me, and that's when I say, like, the title of this talk was Myth as a Medicine Path, I think. So that's what I'm talking about with that. Like, if you want to work with these stories like this, and you can tell the stories to, a frog in your backyard, or, that oak tree. So I really, encourage you to look at these as a wisdom path, as an ancestral path. These fairy tales contain the distilled wisdom of our ancestors. And I want to thank all the ancestors that were here today with us in this room for listening in. And I hope they also feel fed by this story, as fed as I do by looking at all of your shining faces. Thank you.
Thank you, Jen. Wow. Thank you. Amazing. Wow. So we have all been fed and nourished and transported by this moment. And now is the time when those of us who can will contribute to the community so that we can continue to have events like this. Well, if you'd like to play some beautiful music for us, we'll pass the Koa bowl and share our generosity for the possibility of another 50 years of the New Thought Center here, and how you would like to give to the community with a generous heart. So thank you for being those who create this community with your love and generosity and financial support.
I know. Sorry. Okay, this is a song I wrote about my friend Evie, who helped me get through a hard time, and I felt like, I don't know, it's popped in my head when we were talking about all the feelings and healing and helping each other feel. So here we go. My words stay like behind my teeth, 'cause I don't need to speak. Justice is not the lazy, balance happens naturally. I didn't wash out with the sea. They don't need confrontation. They got their salvation. But where you see me is where you live, where your soul is so exquisite. Smoking loud in the soft rain,
But when you see me, when you listen, when your soul is so exquisite, smoking louder in the sulfur rain, my magenta sugar cane, melt my pain, ooh, melt my pain, ooh.
Thank you so much, Colleen Yost and Jen Lighty. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Would you like to share with us a little bit about the book that's available that you have for us?
Sure. Quickly, I have I only have a few copies. I need to get more of my book over there. But if anybody's interested, it's a memoir I wrote that demonstrates the process that we just went through, except there's no audience except for nature. So it's a 21-day ceremony I created telling stories to two little ponds in the Pu'uhonua, and then observing what happened afterwards as the field got activated in my daily life and in the creatures that lived in this area around me. And it moves into like a lot of other dimensions as well, which I won't go on and on to, but I feel like it's a good demonstration of how what it means to search for and find mythic ground.
Beautiful.
Yeah. And then I also have a little sheet over there for my mailing list if you want to sign up for that. I publish pretty much weekly on Substack. I write essays that are really kind of the same thing. Like I'm investigating how myth works and stories work into our daily lives. So that's over there. And if anybody wants to contact me, I think that's probably the best way. And because I have a mentorship coming up, a program called the Coracle, where I'm going to be offering one-on-one mentorships using fairy tales and myths and stories as rites of passage.
Beautiful.
So if anybody's interested in that, just sign up on the clipboard by my books.
Yes.
Also, you can use I'll take Venmo also if you don't have cash.
Excellent. And we are also going to be having lunch with our wonderful hostess today. If you'd like to join us, we'll be at the Corner Pocket on the Lanai area outside. So feel free to continue this conversation with the rest of our community who want to join and have a smaller conversation to go deeper in this. Yes. Take account so we know what the reservation might be and how big the table should be. Who might be thinking they'll join us at the Corner Pocket today? I see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, about 8 of us, 7 or 8 of us. Okay, thank you. Great. And for our announcements here at the New Thought Center every Sunday, 10 a.m., whether you can meet us in person, we love that, or if you can only see us online, and you can also watch it on YouTube at any time. We have free childcare. Please make a reservation so we know to have someone here to help with that. Next Sunday, we have Tiare Lum with Sound Healing Soul Session, and the music is also by her. Julia Fairchild is the week after that on July 21. And the music is by Jean-Pierre Thomas. And then the last weekend, which is also the weekend where we have our wonderful end of the month potluck, so bring food to this one, is Pomakai, who is our wonderful technical wizard today. And she's going to be sharing the love. So we have weekly classes Monday at 4:30 here. If you want to join us for Tai Chi and Qigong with quite a master, his name is Jinan Wang. He's really good. And we also have crystal bowl meditations the second Sunday, so next week, and that's at 9 a.m. here in this room. So if you want to start out with a meditation with crystal bowls. And then you are also invited, of course, with the New Thought Center prayer ministry. We talked about that already, so feel free to do that. And you can get on our mailing list by signing up here so you don't miss out on who's coming next week and who's doing the next speech or share. And join us each week for the ones that most interest you. So thank you for coming today, and please say hello to everybody before you leave so that we get to know you if you're new especially, and join us for lunch if you can. Any other announcements that I'm missing? Anyone else has announcements that I forgot to mention? The produce giveaway is today. We've got a table full of produce. Thank you for reminding me. The first Sunday of the month is produce giveaway. And so those of us who have the wonderful abundance of the garden, bring all that extra abundance and give it away. So please receive it. That's your job. If you didn't bring it, your job is to receive it. Take it home. We want to share our abundance with you. Hi, Jean. I don't know. You want to?
Oh, it sure is. The leaves there, and I brought bottles. You fill them full of water. That's Gynuro procumbus, also called longevity leaf. And it is, I use it instead of spinach now. I've been using it for a long time. I like it, but it grows really easy from cuttings. So I have a bunch of cuttings I brought in little bottles. You can put them in the water so they make it home with you. But it's a great alternative to other greens that easily grows here. So I just wanted you to know what it was, because it's like, what's that? So now you know.
Thank you so
Thank you,
much.
Jean.
How exciting. We even know how to grow our own. Fabulous. All right. So please enjoy the abundance today that all of our gardens have produced. And the first Sunday of every month, if you have overabundance, please share it and bring it with you. And then the last Sunday of the month, we do the potluck where we actually cook everything and bring it. So thank you so much for coming. We'll see you again next week. And if you can join us for lunch, please do. Beautiful. The circle where we sing aloha. Yes, let's do that. We all stand up and join hands. And
Is that it? Yeah.